This course is brought to you by Appy Pie as part of our Academy series.
Alright, so here is our next very simple question. The question is, the break statement is used to exit from. The options are if statement, loop, and a program. So these are the three options: if statement, loop, a program, and the correct option is loop. Let us check the answer, and good job. Alright, so this was a pretty simple question indeed.
Hey there, here is yet another question and we need to determine the output for the same. Here first of all we have the main method, and inside the main method we have a for loop. Now the for loop is different from usual because the initialization part is before the for loop and the increment of the variable part is inside the for loop. Now for example, if we move all of these parts to its proper location, then let me show you real quick. Alright, so this looks good to me. So if I keep each and everything at the usual location, then the output would be true, false, 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 false. Well, this seems to be good enough, but when we differ the location of these elements a little, then the output will also change a little. So now the output is false, 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 false. So there is a change in the first iteration and the output differed a little. Now the reason is pretty simple. When we keep this incremental part inside the for loop, then the incremental part would be performed just after execution of all the statements which are inside the for loop. In other case, if we keep this incremental part inside the for loop, in that case there won't be any special treatment for this incremental part, and as a result the incremental part will increase the value of I by 1 first, and then the next statement will get executed, and as a result there would be some change in the first iteration in this example, and as a result the correct option is false for 5 times. So this is, I suppose, good explanation for this example. Hope you guys enjoyed the explanation. Thanks for watching. Hey there, here is yet another program and we need to determine the output for the same. Now in this program we have the main method, and inside the main method we are making use of the for loop, while loop, and do while loop. Now this program is quite interesting when compared to other programs. In here we have first of all int entity. The value of int is 5 and definitely the name of the int entity is I. Now whenever there is loop inside loop, always make sure to check the inner loop first. That will give you better understanding. So the innermost loop is the do while loop. So let us check the do while loop first. Now if we check the do while loop, first of all the condition of do while loop is false. This means that this loop will only get executed once in the lifetime. Moving forward, inside this loop we have this statement which will print 1 on the console, and we are making use of print and not println. So this will print 1 and the cursor will not reach the new line. Alright, moving forward we have a condition. Now whether this condition is true or false doesn't matter because we are not printing anything inside the body of the if condition. Alright, so this seems to be good enough. So this loop is as good as only this particular statement inside the while loop, and this loop will simply display 1, that too once in its lifetime. Alright, so moving forward, when we check out the while loop is an infinite while loop because the condition is true, but there is a catch in here. The while loop will definitely execute this do while loop inside the iteration, but then it will reach the break statement. This means that the iteration will break and it will just execute once. So this while loop will also have no effect, and this particular statement would be printed once in the lifetime of while loop and do while loop. So this is as good as having this single statement inside the for loop itself. And then finally we have the for loop, and the for loop is the usual for loop. We will iterate for 4 times in this program. So let me execute this program, and the output is pretty simple. 1 1 1 1. Alright, so let me just get rid of this while loop and do while loop in order to show you the actual output. And let me execute this, and this will give you the same old output. So this is how this question played with you, and the correct option is definitely 1 1 1 1. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the lecture. Hey there, here is yet another program, and we need to determine the output for the same. Here we have a class by the name of quiz, and then we also have the main method. Inside the main method, we firstly have a int array. The name of the array is A, and there are in total 4 elements in there, and these elements are 02, 070, 10 and 11. So these are 4 elements, which is good enough. Now moving forward, we are making use of for each loop. Now this for loop is a different loop where we can iterate through a collection of entity. In this case, this is an array, and we can iterate through each and every location one by one. Alright, so in here we would be iterating through this array, and we would be displaying the value one by one. Now friends, where is the catch in this program? This program seems to be very simple, right? So the catch is in this int array. In here, the second element has a 0 as a prefix. Now here is the catch. Now for example, if I execute this program, then in here the output is 2, then 56, then 10, then 11. Now why there is a 56? Because decimal equivalent of octal 70 is 56. So definitely the output is 2, 56, 10 and 11. So this was the explanation, and this program is simple enough. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Hey there, here is yet another program, and we need to determine the output for the same. Alright, so in here we have the main method, and inside the main method we have a string array, right? And what are the contents of this string array? X, Y and Z. Alright, now moving forward, we have a for each loop. Now understand properly. Whenever we make use of a for each loop, in here there is a temporary value which would be used in our for each loop. The name of the temporary value in our case is value. Now in this temporary value, we are simply reassigning the value k. Now this will have no effect on the original copy of your string array, and as a result, when we will try to display the output from the system.out.print statement, then definitely the output would be X, Y and Z. Let me show you on Eclipse, and let me execute this program, and here is the output. So this was a small little trick which was played with you in order to give you a confusing small little program, and the correct option is XYZ. Alright, so this was a quick explanation. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.
Alright, moving to the next question. We can change the size of array once created. Definitely a false statement. Good job.
Hey there, here is yet another program, and in here we have a class by the name of quiz, and then we have the main method. Now if we check the main method, in here first of all we have a int array by name of ARR, and there are a couple of elements inside this array. Now if we check the elements of the array, the elements are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 0 again. And if we count the number of elements which are there in here, then we will find there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 in total elements. Then moving forward, we are simply initializing yet another int entity. The name of the int variable is x, and we are initializing the value of x as 0, as ARR of 0 will give us 0. Alright, so this is good enough. Now there is a catch, and the catch is inside this if block. Now we need not to worry about the iteration at all. Why? Because this if block will always give you a false result. How? ARR of I can have value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 0, right? And the value of x is 0. Now 0 is less than 0, condition is false. Now if ARR is any number greater than 0, then definitely the output would be false. For example, ARR of I is, for example, will contain the value as 3. 3 is less than 0, well, the condition is false again. This is the reason why this iteration will have no effect at all, and the value of x will remain as 0, and finally the output would be simply 0.
Alright, so here is yet another question, and the question is pretty simple. Determine the output of the program given below. And this program is also very simple, and definitely there would be an exception after execution of this program. Why? Let us check. In here there is a class by the name of quiz, right? And there is a main method, and inside the main method we have an array. The size of the array is 9, but in the next statement where we are trying to print element of the array, we are simply trying to access the 10th element of the array, as array starts from 0. So as a result, we are trying to access the 10th element of the array, and definitely there would be one exception, and the exception would be array index out of bound. So let us check this option. The third option is the correct option. Let us check the answer for the same, and good job. Let's move forward and check the next question. Alright, so this question says, which of the statement can get the length of the array that follows? In here the statement is int array customers equals to new int 55. Now in here there is this int array customers, and the size of this array is 55, which is good. And moving forward, in here there are a couple of options, and definitely the second option is the correct option, because accessing the length of the array, here is the way which is in front of us. We need to place the name of the array dot length. Length is the property of the array. Alright, so let us check the answer. Good job once again. Moving forward, finally the last question of this quiz. The question is, what would be the output of the program segment? And the program segment is pretty simple. In here we have an array, an int array, and there are in total 7 elements in this array. And then finally we are trying to access the array with index 1 and the array with index 3. Now in here, what would be the value at index id 1? Definitely the value would be 1, because the index of an array starts with 0. Likewise, the value at the index id 3 would be 3. In fact, if we add these two values 1 and 3, definitely the output would be 4. So the third option is the correct option. Let me check this, and whoopee, good job once again.